I caught my girlfriend cheating at a party, so I dumped her in public and ruined her reputation. My girlfriend of 2 years cheats on me. I, male 17, was dating my now ex, female 17, for a little over 2 years. Who would call her Josie? She was my high school sweetheart. I met her at one of my friend's parties, through a friend. We hit it off immediately, constantly texting, which then led to hanging out and eventually us dating. Everything was great for the first year. We never fought. We would go on constant dates and couldn't get enough of each other. Sometimes during that second year it completely changed. We would argue over little things. We wouldn't have sex as much, and I would notice she was always texting people and get up and leave the room to have phone calls. I thought nothing of it as I knew she had a lot of friends, including some guy ones. She of course tells me not to worry about it. It was until this one day we went to a pre-graduation party, and we were hanging out, drinking and smoking, until my friends asked me to beer pong with them. My girlfriend stayed there with her friends as I won over and played a few games. As some time goes by, I look over to now see my girlfriend sitting over with one of her guy friends. We will call him Liam. Again, I thought nothing of it at first, until I realized how long they had been talking and how close they were sitting together. I went over to talk to them, and when I approached, they were obviously scooting away from each other and greet me. I tried not to let my jealousy take control of me as I thought I'm drunk and they were only talking, and calmly grabbed my girlfriend and continued to party and dance with her. At this point, I'm still not thinking anything too much of the situation, and I'm trying to have a good time as we are about to graduate soon. That is, until her guy friend Liam realizes he drank too much and starts to get sick and throwing up all over. Of course, my girlfriend Josie instantly runs over and starts comforting him. I'm talking like headhunter's shoulder, she's rubbing his arm, and she's just constantly babying him, asking him if he's all right. I wouldn't have been concerned, but she's seen many people throughout the parties, including myself, and she has never acted in such a manner. At this point, the jealousy has taken over me, and I ask her to leave and go back to my house where we will be staying the night. On our ride home, I just noticed she's still texting and making sure he's all right. I then questioned how good of a relationship she had with Liam, as I knew they were friends, but she would never talk about him or bring him up, ever, so I thought they barely kept in touch. She was all over the place in answering my questions, but she had shown me her phone, and it showed that the last time they had texted it was over a year ago. Ultimately, I had believed her and forgot about it. This brings us to graduation. We just finished prom and went to the after party. We drank and smoked and overall had a great time. When it was time to go around 2:30 a.m., I was getting some friends together as well as some of my girlfriend's friends to come back to my place to continue partying and go swimming in my pool. Of course, one of my friends, my girlfriend Josie, wanted to bring back to my place was Liam. Me thinking nothing of it, say it's okay. While at my house, me and Josie get into one of our stupid fights and she no longer wants to hang out with us and go to bed. About 10 minutes later, Liam decides he's done for the night and decided to go inside. Because we forgot to bring out towels, we then ask Liam to bring them outside before he goes to bed. 30 minutes go by, and we are all ready to go inside and go to bed, but we have no towels as Liam forgot to bring them. As it is my house, I decided to go get them. As I'm walking up the stairs towards the bathroom, I can hear the showers on and a slight noise coming from the shower. As I got up to the door, my worst nightmare had come true. She was having sex in the shower with Liam. I bust down the door in one clean hit, absolutely losing my mind and screaming at both of them. Liam stood there frozen, not knowing what to do as Josie started crying hysterically. She tried to explain how it somehow wasn't what it looked like and how she loves me. I wasn't hearing any of it. I had made them go home as well as everyone else that I had invited over. I broke up with her on the spot and have not heard from her for 2 months. She started recently trying to text me again, trying to apologize. I'm seeing someone new, and when I had told her I think it broke her. That's all that happened so far. Thank you for reading, and I'm sorry if it is a bit hard to read or scrambled. This is my first ever post on Reddit. Thanks. That's the other community reacts. First up, how could you? She said it wasn't what it looked like. Someone else chimes in. Surely the only reply can be, thank God, because it looks like you were screwing him. The Gopi replies, as to that part, she tried to explain that it was his fault for being so pushy and I guess assertive. She said that she was taking a shower when he came in asking for towels. When she said they were in the other room, he wouldn't leave. When she did say the exact words, "It's not what it looked like," I couldn't help but chuckle at that so stupid response. I responded with, "How does a dick accidentally slip into you in the shower?" She of course didn't know what to say. Another response states, "Opie never take a cheater back because once a cheater, always a cheater." Most likely she'd been cheating with him for some time. Most likely an emotional affair, and that night, they went physical affair. That's the reason she started to fight with you. I know it hurts right now, but in the long run, it does get better. Remember, you were a nice guy and she wanted her bad boy and thought you would never leave her, even if you caught her. So the best way to get revenge on her is to move on with your life. This will drive her nuts in the long run because she will see how much better your life is without her. We have another response. All I can say is, dude, I know it hurts like I know and know. All too well. I'm a female 35, and this doesn't invalidate your pain or frustration. I mean, I had a high school sweetheart who cheated. It killed me. I dated others only to get back with him in college. One kid in tow with a girl, dated 3 more years, cheated again and crushed me. For years I dated but couldn't forget him. He couldn't me either. Finally, around age 29, I'd say we both moved on. But it's just a first love thing. Plus, you need all of the experience for when you one day meet your soulmate. I'm sorry, but she's not it. The relationship ran its course. I may be wrong, but it sounds like you'd be best to just figure yourself out. Maybe even get a therapist or counselor if you're on campus. They have them. If not, find one solo with Medicaid or otherwise. Figure you out aside from her. Learn to love yourself. At my age, I tell you it's the best I ever felt once I took that time to do it. Changed my life. I'm married. I have a baby boy, and I still don't know if he's the one, but I do know we have a mature relationship. We are honest, as far as I know. Don't cheat. Cheaters never stop. I hope you are able to move on and be happy and date someone else. The more experience you have with the love, the better your chances, and yeah, that means there's a lot of confusion and hurt involved, but it's worth it even though I know it's hard to see now. Best to you. Second cheating story. Finally caught my girlfriend cheating red-handed, so I dumped and blocked her. There was many red flags that led up to this point, and I could likely write a novel on my situation, but I will spare the details. Here's how I found out. Her and I got into an argument one night about something trivial. I went to bed around 11 p.m. and I received a message at 1 a.m. while I was dead asleep from my ex. She said she was going for a walk. I woke up about 4 in the morning when she finally made it back to our bedroom. I was too tired to care, and I went back to sleep until I woke up later in the morning. She had slept in until about 1 in the afternoon. She also intentionally avoided leaving, returning through our front door where I have a doorbell camera installed, likely to avoid giving me a timestamp on her whereabouts. When she finally woke up, I asked her about her walk as it was totally out of character. No good things happen at 1 a.m. She wouldn't tell me who she was with, and I could clearly see she was making up a story on the spot. She later told me that she opened to somebody, coworker, about how she was unhappy in our relationship and disclosed a little too much information that should have been obligated to discuss with me. This dude apparently walked her home and offered to kiss her. She said she declined at the offer. She maintains this part of the story is truth, but my trust was already broken at this point. As weeks passed, I would bring up the story and the details would change, and she told me she was going to move back home. I didn't understand the idea of her leaving unless she was guilty about something, so I continued to push the issue further. And as she told me, she put in her 2 weeks' notice at work, so I knew she was leaving. She had messed up. She knew too, but she hadn't admitted yet. But that night, she finally admitted to me after I took her phone and went through it in front of her. I told her to leave, and when she had nowhere else to go, she decided to retract her statement about cheating and then said it didn't happen. That is something you don't admit to unless you actually do it. As it turns out, it was not a one-time offense and it wasn't a fair. I may not even know the full truth or for exactly how long this was going on for. I guess I have to accept the story she has given me as truth and move on. I do have a morbid curiosity though about the real truth, but I know it's only going to hurt me more. To give some backstory, our relationship was nothing short of unconventional. We were together for 7 years, and 4 of those we were apart. Long distance. We tried to see each other as much as we could when we were apart, but there were some gaps in between. When we finally decided on a compromise and living together, this happens no more than a year later. If she was so quick to do this while living under the same roof as me, it's undeniable it happened when we were apart. I've invested so much into a person apart and in person, and I never thought she would just throw it all the way like that. The one person I trusted more than anyone betrayed me. If she was so unhappy, she should have left. I know what you guys are going through. Hope we can all find some healing. Update 1. She told me she wanted to cheat on me. Need support in SFW. Anyway, I posted a few weeks back after I found out about my partner's 29 female affair. I still cannot shake the words she had said to me. Upon her confession, I asked why she would do that. She said with no mercy and without hesitation, "I wanted to cheat on you." She had also said, "What else do you want to know? I effed other guys too." As times moved past after that night, she told me that her statement about hooking up with other guys was untrue and maintains that the only time she was unfaithful is with the affair partner in question. Like, how toxic can you be to say to somebody to deliberately hurt them? Why even go to the extent of putting that doubt in my mind, especially if that statement was untrue? Call me old-fashioned, but nobody just admits to cheating with multiple partners just to piss somebody off, especially if they didn't do it. I don't know who she is anymore, or if I ever really did. Just a recap here, quick edit. Her and I have no contact. Her and I are not on speaking terms right now. This is what was said to me while she was packing up her crap and getting ready to leave. Update 2. 1 year of no contact. It gets better. Progress in SFW. Long post warning. I have successfully not given any sign of life to my ex and haven't heard a peep from her in exactly 1 year to the date. I can only assume the milestone resonates much more to me, as dates have always had some sentimental importance to me. And considering I was the betrayed, blind-sided partner in this matter, I doubt she has given any thought to the length of time spent without contact with me. Plus, I highly doubt she sees today as a milestone for herself either. Then again, I don't know. I guess it shouldn't matter to me what she is thinking, but some days I still can't help it. Even this far without speaking that somebody you legitimately loved and cared for is a painful and long journey in introspection. Additionally, being abandoned under the veil of cheating and infidelity is another mind F of its own. My ex literally left me alone. Within 3 days of unearthing her love affair, all her crap was packed and she was out the door only to run back to her home state. There were the obvious arguments and blow-ups afterwards, but then I left her with silence. After my own sanity, I blocked her on every single platform possible. Facebook, Insta, Snapchat. I blocked her on WhatsApp, blocked her on Netflix, SoundCloud, and even effing Venmo. I took it a step further and blocked any other point of contact with her, whether it was her family or even her close friends. I refused to give her or anyone affiliated with her the luxury of creeping on my life. Unless there's a chance of reconciliation, some family or living circumstance that needs attention, or say you and your ex got off on good terms, by all means, reach out if you need to. If you were betrayed, cheated on, lied to, abused, or gaslight into believing you were responsible for their F-up, stay in contact for life. There are different stages to grieving, as we all know, but I feel they don't always show in step-by-step order. A year later, there are still days I feel angry and other days that I feel happy. There are days I feel like I have accepted her as gone forever, and there are days I sit on denial. There are days I question how she's feeling, or even if I cross her mind at all. There are days I sit and wonder if she actually feels sorry for how she left me. There's even a morbid, sinister hope that she at least maybe felt empty or felt like total complete crap with my absence in her new life. After all, that is how she made me feel. The thing to remember is that no contact is for the individual. It's hard to view yourself as an individual after you break up with someone. You're no longer a pair. You're single. I've explored several forms of coping with that new reality. I tried therapy. It did help, but sessions become stale. I tried a bit of recreational misbehaving and drinking, and even random Tinder hookups. I can assure you that none of that crap is going to get you over somebody 100%. You're always going to love somebody to some extent. I'm at a point in my healing where I realize the only thing that matters is establishing a better relationship with myself. Seeing your faults is vital as well. I was cheated on, but that doesn't make me a victim or guilt-free. I wasn't perfect either, and there was a lot of contributing factors for myself that led up to the demise of my past relationship. Relationships require communication, and unfortunately the lack thereof can turn your relationship upside down real quick. I still miss her, and I always will love her, but unfortunately I can only give that from afar. What I can say is it does get better. Distractions help, but they are not the solution. As cliché as it seems, it just takes time. Focus on yourself and your new life. Now a thought from the community. Time to forget this date. Opie. You have done well to get this far, and your survival from her infidelity is assured, but you need to take that next step and work on attaining that final level, the land of May. You need to work on that indifference. You need to let go of that last little bit of her that resides in your psyche. That bit about, I still miss her, and I will always love her. It's so vitally important to your future that you let that part of it go. You need to do it for you. You need to do it for your future. You need to be able to pass this day next year with no thought at all. In a year's time, you just want it to be Tuesday, better than last Tuesday, and not as good as next Tuesday, but just a normal Tuesday with no recognition that it was the day.